President Obama's auto task force is going to make another big announcement soon on the big three. You ready for it? Probably more loans. After 7,500 auto workers agreed to take buyouts, but should we continue to bail out the automakers, even in the form of loans that may not get paid back? Entrepreneurs are out there innovating, struggling to carry on the classic American process of forcing the big guys to improve or give way to better ideas and products. Let's find out what the founder of PayPal, SpaceX, and now Tesla Autos thinks. We want to welcome to Happy Hour Elon Musk, who is today proudly unveiling his all-electric car. It is called the Tesla Model S. Mr. Musk, thank you very much for joining us for Happy Hour.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so big day for you guys, debuting this vehicle. What's the reception so far? You know, it's not the best time in the world to be debuting this with the economy, gas prices so low. You're all about electricity out there, so not everything running in your favor. How's the mood been? Getting a lot of tough questions from reporters?
Actually, the questions have been very positive so far. And I think from a timing standpoint, you've got to look at the future, not the present. People have a tendency to look at the present and extrapolate on a straight line basis. And so they think when it's bad, it's always bad. When it's good, it's always good. That's very silly. I think this is the right time to unveil the Tesla Model S, which is a pure electric sedan. It's something that is going to be critical to getting off our dependence on oil. Something that's also going to be obviously helpful from an environmental standpoint. And you know, I should also mention that there was someone, I think Cody or somebody said something about welfare. I should point out Tesla's not taken any government money whatsoever so far. So that's a very uninformed comment.
Elon, let me address that if I could, Elon. I was going to ask it later, but I'll just ask it here since we're on the topic. The $350 million that you guys are asking from the Energy Department basically came through TARP welfare funding, and that's why I referred to it. It is a loan, but you guys are asking
that's
for
not true.
money that did come out of a welfare program.
No, that's not true. We're not asking for any TARP money. There was a program called the ATVM program. Well, there is a program called the ATVM program, which we've applied for, that we may receive or may not receive funding for, but I think we probably will. We're best suited for it. And I wouldn't characterize that as welfare in any way, shape, or form. I would characterize it as something that is important from a national security standpoint, because unless you believe we should be dependent on foreign oil for the future, if that's what you believe, then hey, you know, great. But if you think that winning ourselves of oil is a good idea, I would look at this as a national security issue and something that's extremely important for the future of the country.
Mr. Musk, give us a sense of how soon. Look, Chevy Volt, it was done the savior for Chevy or GM, but it may not be out in time to save them. How soon are you going to be able to mass produce this car? Or is it ready? Is it a year down the road? And is it really important to beat Chevy to the market?
You know, I think we really hope that the entire industry goes electric as soon as possible. The whole reason I've put so much time and effort and money personally, you know, I've personally put about $70 million into the company. The reason I've done that is because we want to accelerate the electric car revolution and get that happening as soon as possible. I'm overjoyed to see other companies moving in the direction of electric. The more electric, the better. I think the entire industry will become electric one day, and that day should come sooner rather than later.
Right. Mr. Musk, you know, I mean, it is great that you're doing this. You know, you're an entrepreneur. You soaked a lot of your own money into this. You know, it's not the big three developing it. It's a small company like yours. You're going to build the plant in California someplace or New Mexico, creating jobs there.
Yeah, California.
Take us through, you know, I know you guys got to set up the electrical charge stations, you know, so we can get from point A to point B. But as you take us through the car, show us what it's all about and how the whole thing's going to work. Lift up the hood, if you will.
We can't lift up the hood for this model. We certainly will be able to later this year. But let me get inside.
And go ahead and talk us through it. Talk us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a car that's going to have, or that has a 300-mile range, pure electric. The cost of electricity is way lower than the cost of gasoline. So the starting price is $49,900. This, when you take into account the cost of gasoline versus electricity, and then you look at it on a lease basis, if you were to lease our car versus lease another car, assuming gasoline gets up to about $4 a gallon, this is equivalent to buying a Ford Taurus. We're also going to have a 45-minute quick charge capability, and you'll be able to swap out the battery pack faster than you can fill a gas tank. So I think that really helps alleviate the range concern that people have.
Elon,
also, because
as a Silicon Valley veteran, are there a lot of like fancy gadgets and all kinds of connect me type of things that you got in there too? My iPod going to automatically connect to the stereo, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, we're trying to address a lot of the elements of the car. Oopsie, sorry. We're trying to address a lot of the elements of the car, such as the interfaces. So there's a center console which has a 17-inch touchscreen display, and then a front screen which is also a screen. So there's really, you don't have the buttons and knobs and confusion of a regular car. So you'll be able to browse the internet on the center console. It's a full web browser capability. You'll be able to do remote diagnosis of the car. So if there's a problem with the car, we can log into the car remotely with your permission and diagnose what's wrong. So we're trying to improve a lot of elements of the car.
All right.
And because the
All right, Elon, we're getting wrapped here. We're coming up against the break. I want to thank you very much. Two things. Make sure that you got the automatic door opener when you lock yourself out, and make sure that touchscreen goes off while you're driving the car. I'm hoping. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely, it will. Thank you.
It's a good-looking car.
It is beautiful, man. Seriously.
I'll take one.
Good luck with it all.
I'll be one of your test drivers.
Except for the part of getting my welfare money.